Hello everyone, it's your boy Young Falcon here, and today we are going to talk about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So we have a plethora of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate leaks that have been spilling out on 4chan and everywhere across the board. Personally, I don't think we're going to get any type of these leaks that have been coming out. A lot of these leaks have seemed very fake, but this one that I'm covering in particular feels a little bit more genuine to me. This leak comes from a player named Cracker Fighter, and he's basically describing his quick, brief conversations, or not quick or brief, we don't know how long they went on actually, but conversations he had with a Nintendo representative / employee who works on the graphic design of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This basically means, say, if a character is like being put in the game or anything like that, they're working on the stock images and character UI and all that kind of stuff. Nothing coding wise, nothing crazy. So a lot of the reason why I think this is valid is the stuff that he's talking about makes a lot of sense, and I will get to that in a bit. So he basically says they are a lot of information from face-to-face meetings. He says there's going to be a total of 6 newcomers and 4 new Echo Fighters, including the ones we've already seen revealed. So we're getting 4 newcomers and 3 new Echo Fighters, considering Daisy, Ridley, and Inkling have already been revealed. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. The first of these 2 newcomers that were taken from the popularity poll, of course, the Smash Brothers ballot, are Geno and King K. Rool. Picks that I see very well happening. It just makes a lot of sense that those characters would make it in, especially with their popularity and how long they've been requested since basically N64 for King K. Rool and Melee for Geno. I want to say probably even both of those characters, they've been requested for a long time across the entire world. It's not just like a isolated like American or European thing or Western thing. It's like one of the characters that are like been the most requested. So I really see those characters joining the game. It makes a lot of sense is what I'm trying to get at, especially King K. Rool, and if not Geno, maybe K. Rool. At least I could see making it in. But yeah, Square Enix has been very working with Nintendo, obviously with Cloud being in the game and Final Fantasy VII being nowhere near a Nintendo console, not even like taking that Steam port and putting it on the Switch, you know what I mean? So it's very likely we could see these characters in the game. So yeah, I like the picks here. It makes sense. It seems like some pretty simple newcomers, nothing crazy for the first party Nintendo lineup. And yeah, Geno will use a variety of his Geno moves, obvious, Geno Beam, Whirl, Flash, those kind of things. And King K. Rool will be using a variety of his types of moves, his blunderbuss for his like neutral special and things like that. That's at least what the leak says. So okay, I like where they're going with this. The movesets sound legit. It doesn't sound like anything too crazy. Alright, I dig it. Moving on to the third party characters that are going to be newcomers, because of course we gotta have that. It is Smash after all. The first one that actually kind of surprised me but made a lot of sense was Travis Touchdown. Suda51 was really pushing for this character to get into the game. It's kind of similar to when Sakurai put Snake in, and even Sonic to an extent, and it seems like a character that fits really well in the Super Smash Ultimate kind of realm. Just another random, wacky, cool, mature character similar to Snake that's kind of like, yo, we're doing this thing. So yeah, I dig it. I really like what they're going for here. Travis Touchdown, a pretty strong pick. He has a lot of unique moves, as you can tell. I'll post the link down below if you want to read up on it yourself. But he has a pretty unique moves with his neutral specials and just specials in general. And his final smash sounds dope. Now this next one's going to throw you guys for a curveball, and threw me for one as well. It is Yuri Lowell from Tales of Vespera. Now this one was interesting because the popularity polls over in Japan had this character as like really top on the list here. Even for the old Tales of games, he's one of the most, if not the most popular character in the Tales of franchise. He's so popular, he beats Lloyd consistently in popularity polls over there, and very popular to the point they had to remove his character from popularity polls because he would be #1 regardless. It didn't matter. It always ended up being him. So yeah, he's a pretty interesting character. Yuri Lowell stems from Tales of Vespera. Tales of Vespera is getting a definitive edition for the Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, PS4, etc. this year, and it makes a lot of sense to kind of cross-promote considering Namco Bandai still works with the game, and it's again another wacky third-party character I can see Sakurai working on and just kind of bringing in the game, or at least telling his team like, hey, you guys want to try this out kind of thing. So I could see this character making it in, and this is part of the reason why I believe this leak is real, because if this was a regular leak, say a leak from just like a random dude who wants like a wish list of characters or anything of that nature, it would have been Lloyd free. And of all the characters to choose from, it wouldn't have been Yuri. It would have been like the one girl character from Tales of Berseria or something of that nature. Whatever the newest game would be, because oh hey look, you know, it's what people really requested or whatever. But Yuri Lowell was a pick that I didn't see coming. It's from an obscure JRPG. Not many people really, you know, messed with it over here in America. They really wanted if you're a Tales Up fan, but a lot of people don't really like mess with that type of franchise. And it was just an interesting pick that I really didn't see coming. I really thought Lloyd, you know, Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia. It's the one we played on the GameCube and/or HD re-remakes, and yeah, it makes sense to see this character get chosen in the grand scheme of things when I really think about it, because we have to also factor in the Japanese audience. And I could see this character be really high on the popularity pool, similar to Bayonetta, and there's like R2, where it was like, you know, Bayonetta was like our pick internationally or whatever, or worldwide, and then the Japanese pick is just straight up Yuri Lowell, with those other picks from just, you know, the popularity poll being Geno and K. Rool, because, you know, they said they're still pulling for the popularity poll, and they're still going to take a couple characters from that. So if those are our newcomers, we got a pretty good list here, you know, Ridley, Inkling, K. Rool, of course, Geno, finally, right? And these two third-party characters are just oddball enough that it's like, dang, I'd love to play as them and Smash to kind of see how they function, even though I'm not a huge Tales of Vesperia fan. I haven't even really played it, and it could definitely interest me in picking up the game. So good stuff on Nintendo's part. I'm digging this. I like this roster is what I'm trying to get at. So with that being said, we have to move on to these next up Echo Fighters. So these Echo Fighters consist of Shadow over Sonic, Hilda over Zelda, and Dark Samus over, well, Samus. This again feels really smart, because Hilda kind of takes from the Link Between Two Worlds, and Zelda did get her design switched, so it could be an easy alt swap costume for them. And apparently her final smash is going to function similar to the Triforce of Wisdom, traps your opponent and has Yuga turn them into a painting similar to Link Between Worlds. I could really see this as a character. Dark Samus is obvious. Everyone's been calling Dark Samus. It's just too obvious not to do. She was an assist trophy in Super Smash Bros. 4, and it just feels like, yeah, just make her a character kind of thing. Like, I really would like Dark Samus as an alt skin. And with that also being said, Shadow is just way too obvious. I mean, they made it so obvious to the point they've replaced his assist trophy with Knuckles recently, and Shadow's like been nowhere seen in the game, along with like Dark Samus assist trophy. Like, we haven't seen Dark Samus as an assist trophy in the game, so it makes a little too much sense, you know. I could most definitely see where these characters are coming from. So these Echo Fighters sound pretty legit. So with that being said, let's move on to the final part of this. It is the adventure mode and the variety of other modes that are going to be in the game. So there isn't going to be a Subspace Emissary returning, as he says, but there are going to be a couple of modes coming back. Break the Targets with a new difficulty system similar to Brawl style. We're also talking about how there's stages or modes like Race to the Finish coming back, which is pretty interesting. I would love to see a form of that come back in any way. I'm not sure if there's going to be on board the platforms or anything of that nature. Apparently Target Blast is back. But yeah, kind of disappointing, because I thought Ultimate was going to be like bringing everything back, so if this does turn out to be true, I'll be a little bit like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm not really here for game modes anyways, but it would be really nice to have board the platforms. But maybe Race to the Finish would be a nice like switch up and kind of maybe incorporate both aspects of it, which is kind of what I'm thinking. So either way, good stuff. But moving on to the adventure mode, apparently there's going to be two versions of the adventure mode. A classic mode filled with the original Melee stages, hopefully revived in beautiful HD, and the ultimate with the new content and brand new adventure stages with bosses and no reuse stuff in between, so stuff of that nature. I'm interested to see what they have here. I really like what they're going for with the whole, okay, we're gonna have a brand new ultimate, you know, adventure mode style and make it very unique and you know, bring back everything and try to like reinvent new stages and things like that. So that's kind of what I was crossing my fingers for, is like a new adventure mode similar to Melee's, because Brawl's Subspace Emissary is dope and all, but I don't think it'd have the same charm as it would back in the day, you know, because it was all about like finding the cutscenes, unlocking the characters and all that. Now that everything's at our fingertips, I'd much rather go do something like adventure mode and grind that, and of course the OG classic mode, breaking the target, event matches, all that jazz. And having 2 adventure modes to run through should be supplementary enough to keep me company and just kind of keep me like, wow. And I would love to see like a stage like Mute City come back and in Melee's adventure mode, but like in HD. That'd be super dope because you had to like run across the stage and all that. So yeah, I really dig what they did here. I really like all the stuff they're talking about with these new game modes coming in. And yeah, that's the leak. That's basically sums it up right there. He ends it right there. So what do I have to say? What about to say the validity of this leak? I have a feeling we're gonna have to keep our eyes open. I feel like a lot of this could be true. A lot of this sounds pretty legit. He doesn't go into like every tiny detail or goes into too little detail. He just gave enough. A lot of these leaks recently have gone into like detail about every individual fighter and like what times are going to be announced and all this stuff, and others have just been like, oh, this happened, but I heard it from like a little birdie across the street kind of thing. But this one, it was the first leak for the Ultimate stuff for me personally that gave just enough to make it go, okay, let me think and ponder this for a bit. But what do you guys have to say about these character picks? What do you guys have to say about what's going on here with this leak? I'm kind of curious what you guys want to say. Post in the comments down below and just kind of let's have a little bit of a conversation here. I personally think this leak could be at least 70% correct. Just knowing off of the information, at least like the way you talk about the popularity of the characters and the character polls, I genuinely feel like we're getting Geno and K. Rool at least in Smash. The third party characters are a toss up. Maybe Travis Touchdown, just because Suda51's been pushing so hard, and you can't even use the excuse like, no, that's a really mature character. Sakurai doesn't really care. He doesn't just have to do all his mature stuff he does in No More Heroes. They just don't add that in Smash. It's that simple. I mean, you look at Snake, he made it in the game, Bayonetta made it in the game. Pretty sure Travis Touchdown can make it in Smash. It's not that big of a deal. Yuri Low, well, that's the one that's just, I don't know, it's the one that kind of tears me away from the league and also puts me like, that is really possible. So we'll just have to wait here and we'll just have to find out. Alright, so I'm Young Falcon signing out. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video discussing the Super Smash Bros. 4 leaks. Please comment down below if you guys think this is going to be legit or not. I will see you guys next time.